Hey, what's going on, race fans? Steve here, and I know it's been quite a long time since I've done one of these videos. Sorry for the absence. I was waiting for something super juicy to come back on and do one of these videos, and they certainly gave us that this weekend at Martinsville. You can also tell it's slightly different. I used to do those ones where I was doing it over NASCAR gameplay, video game gameplay, but it was always kind of awkward because I had to tailor what I was doing to the length of the race, and I had to make sure I got a clean race or an interesting race or something for you to watch. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to do video. That way, when I'm done talking about what I want to talk about, regardless of the length, I turn it off, the video's over, we can all go about our day. But let me get to starting talking about, number one, let's talk about the good, because there was plenty of good, especially myself, Jeff Gordon fan, of course, obviously. I'm going to like the result. It was awesome what happened. That was feel good. And Jeff Gordon fan or no, you had to enjoy that scene. You had to enjoy the reaction of the other drivers. You had all kinds of Tony Stewart going on Twitter and saying it was awesome. Kyle Busch coming on there. Kyle Busch, who said earlier in the week, I don't see Jeff Gordon competing, that what comes over and congratulates him. Just everybody, the crowd, the fans, everybody staying, jumping up and down. You just love seeing that type of stuff, and that's what makes NASCAR great, moments like that. So that is an awesome thing. I agree with Tony Stewart. Unless you're, upset about Joey Logano or something like that, I understand if you're a Joey Logano fan, if you're a huge fan of his, you can think Sunday was pretty crappy. But on the whole, that was the moment of the 2015 season. Seeing Jeff Gordon get out of that car in his last season, finally getting a win, going nuts, jumping up and down. That's what you want to see in the sport. And wins like that are entertaining to see. I think fun, and I think we need more of those type things, those scenes at the end of races. That's what makes NASCAR special. Let's get to the big story, though. Jeff Gordon's moving on. He'll have his day at Homestead. He's going to finish with a great career. Let's talk about Kenseth and Logano. So many things said, and I agree with it. And let me start with what Kyle Petty had said on the post-race, saying there's no place for that. It's nonsense. You shouldn't be doing that. You're laps down. Kenseth was laps down, going after Logano, getting back on the track solely for the purpose of taking out Logano, and I agree. And you have to take this as a Jeff Gordon fan who did it to Clint Bowyer, and he even said himself, it wasn't the nicest thing in the world to do. It wasn't necessarily right, but it's just something that happens when you're competing. But at the same time, you don't really need that. You don't need somebody taking out a winner of a race or someone who's probably going to go on to win the race, ruining someone's chase and someone's championship, even though you felt that they had done the same to you. This isn't boys have at it. And I've heard a lot of that on the radio today. Sirius XM has that great channel, Channel 90, which is all NASCAR. This isn't boys have at it. This is staying on the track and taking somebody out that was going for a win. What happened in Kansas was boys have at it. What happened I'll even go back further. I'll go back last year when Keselowski took Gordon out of the Texas race. I'm a Gordon fan, and I could say that was boys have at it. Gordon went up the track. Keselowski booted him out of the way. That's fine. You're going for a win. You're racing for a win. And that's fine to do, as long as you don't come back and cry when it happens to you. If that's the way you want to be raced, fine. But don't be surprised when guys race you that way. So all that's fine. But as far as taking out a race leader who's still going for a championship and driving him into the wall, that's more what I had an issue with. And it was more the way Kenseth did it. If you want to spin him out, fine. Spin Kenseth out. Spin Logano out. If you want to face him if you want to go punch him like Dale Jarrett said, you want to go chase him down and punch him in the face. I think it was either Parker Kligerman or Dale Jarrett said, you want to go chase him down between the haulers, between the homes? Go get him. Spin him out. Don't drive somebody into the wall. Don't hook him and push him all the way in. Because I'll give Kenseth the benefit of the doubt that he's an expert driver, that he knew what he was doing, and he knew where he was on the car, and that he was going to drive him in the rear tire. But you're a couple feet away from driving someone into a wall on their door. Don't be messing with that. I think they should come down hard on Kenseth. They should. If you're racing for a win, it's one thing. What happened at Kansas was one thing. What happened at Talladega was another thing. Now, I understand it just built up. It was too much for Kenseth. Spin the guy out. Tap him. Punt him up the track. But don't be doing that. Don't drive somebody in. Don't come in laps down and then drive somebody into the wall. And if you're going to do it, afterwards, get on there and say, you know what? They were messing with me. I had problems with the 2. I had problems with the 22. They took out my chase, and I'm going to take out their chase. At least own up to it. At least own up to it. If you were doing it, saying you wanted to protect your respect in the garage, get that respect. Say, you know what? You raced me like that. That's what's going to happen to you, and that's what I did to him. See, that's what I think that he missed out on. By saying, oh, my tire went down, I think my splitter... Stop it. Because you're doing two things. You're insulting our intelligence and making yourself look like a wimp. If you did it, fine. Own up to it. You'll get your respect that way if that's what you're looking for. And if that's the message you wanted to send it. And on the same note, this got lost a little bit, given the events of Kenseth and Gordon and all the rest of it. Danica Patrick. Here's a little... And I'm not a Danica hater. I hope Danica does well. When I go to the track, when I go to Dover, I see a lot of young fans, and they're Danica Patrick fans. And that's great. We need new fans. It's great. The attention, all the rest of it. I hope she does well. I hope she gets race wins. I hope she does top tens and all the rest of it. I'm not going to hate on somebody else's success, but Danica, please. Number one, stop wrecking people or trying to wreck people, but you can't do it. This is the second or third time that you've spun yourself out trying to wreck somebody else. And here's another thing. If you want respect, and you want to not have this thing go on, where you're saying you're David Gilliland and others, she's had problems with other people that she races against, having problems with her in the past. How about you don't race with them? You're in top 15 equipment. You shouldn't be in the same zip code as David Gilliland. You should be 20 positions ahead of him. So how about this? If you want respect in the garage, take that equipment that's doing well for Harvick, that's doing well for Kurt Busch, that does well for Tony Stewart when he has his head on straight, and take it to victory lane a couple times. Get some consistent top 10s, some top 5s, and see how you get some respect. All right? Because people want to see drivers doing well. People want to see drivers getting consistent top 10s, racing for wins, racing hard. They don't want to see two idiot back markers bringing out yellows because they're trying to wreck each other. That's just my opinion. If you have different, that's what the comment section is for. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, next week, where we will see you at Texas. Have that Steve-alicious day.